Leah here. Let's just talk about what we've been taught about sex. And let's admit that most of it is half baked, or it's patriarchal nonsense, or it's just flat out wrong, especially for those of us who are over 50. So these myths aren't just annoying, they're destructive. They smother our vitality, they kill our pleasure. They leave us believing that our divine bodies are broken or dried up or just done. And this is so destructive. It's so destructive to living the life as a sensual and vital woman in the world. So, I want to talk about three cultural myths that we believe, and then I want to talk about your personal myths and how to uncover them and work with them so that you can reclaim your libido, step into who you really are, and love and be loved so deeply and so tenderly. So, let's just jump right in. Myth number one: women over 60 don't need or even desire sex anymore. That is so not true. It is such a big fucking lie. It is a pile of culturally approved, medically gate kept hogwash. Wow, I hate this myth. So the truth is, our sexual energy does not expire like milk, it evolves. So after menopause, many women find themselves actually more available for sexual pleasure. And we're not worried about getting pregnant anymore. We are emotionally and spiritually and physically in a different place in our lives. We are wired to slow down and savor and move into the juiciness of things. We're in a sweet and sacred place to finally explore our own bodies without shame, right? We don't run out of fucks to give. We don't care anymore. We let shame just go. We let it all go. And libido is not just a switch that we flip on and off, right? Our libido is a flame that we feed. One of my favorite mentors, Diana Richardson, talks about how important it is for women, especially in midlife, but in all of our life stages, to cultivate our libido. And what is libido? It's not just desire for sex, it is a zest for being alive. It's a zest for life. I love this. All right, myth number two: if I don't feel aroused, then something must be wrong with me. Please hear me when I say this, that is so not true. If you don't feel aroused, it's because your body is saying, I'm not taking any bullshit anymore. Right? I'm not putting up with sex that does not feel good to me, that doesn't speak to my soul, that doesn't incorporate my body and my heart and my spirit. Welcome, Scott. I'm really glad that you are here. And for those of you who are watching, whether you're catching me live or later, go ahead and drop your comments in, and I'll be sure to respond to you. So, if you, beautiful woman in your midlife or younger, don't feel like you're in the mood anymore, then this is the time to ask yourself, why? What's going on? Are you and your partner just kind of missing each other somehow? Do you need to take better care of your body? Do you need a better understanding for how your body works in midlife and in perimenopause and postmenopause? These are all questions that you can ask and really reclaim that libido and that desire. Alrighty, myth number three: I shouldn't worry about sex if my partner's not interested, because after all, we're not making babies anymore. And the flip side of this myth is also true, that I don't need to worry about sex anymore if we're not making babies anymore. And by the way, our sex life is just kind of rote and it's fallen into ruts, and I don't want to do it anymore, so I shouldn't have to worry about it anymore. Well, let me just say this to you. Sexuality is not about having a partner. It is about being in relationship with your own life force. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I just love this. So whether you have a partner who's interested or not, or whether you're interested in participating with your partner, really doesn't have a whole lot to do with it. Hi, Nora. I'm so glad you are here. What's important is that you develop a relationship with your own libido, with your own body, with your own sexuality. And remember, when we use that word libido, it's not just about an appetite for intercourse. It is about an appetite for life, for feeding chickens and for doing yoga and for traveling and for eating good food, whatever it is. Your libido is your desire to be in the fullness of who you really are. And that's all about you. So let's just talk briefly about the dangers of sexual illiteracy, because most of us didn't get a good education, right? We learned how to fake an orgasm, but maybe not how to augment our own pleasure. We learned how to avoid pregnancy, maybe, but not how to have lots of different skills around sexuality that maybe don't even involve intercourse. So this is why it's really important to educate yourself about how sexuality works. If you find a book on the shelf and the title just jumps out at you, then get it and read it and learn it. If you find a workshop that you're like, wow, that sounds really interesting, then go and do it. I really believe that our sexuality is at the foundation of everything we do. And I don't mean a desire for intercourse. What I mean is the fullness of who you are in your body is the foundation of everything we do. And so it's really important to have good education around your sexuality. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about personal myths, things that you believe about yourself that are getting in the way. So some of the common myths that I run into in my work with women are, I'm not desirable if nobody wants me. Or if I explore my sexuality or even my sensuality, I will get rejected. People will laugh at me. People will think I'm silly. Hi, Alicia. It's so good to have you here. Or you might think, oh, I'm too much. I'm too brazen. I'm too out there. I have too many desires. Or I'm not enough. So whatever your personal myths are, those are the things that are getting in the way of your sexuality. So what can you do about it? Let me give you a couple of ideas. Hello, Melissa. It's great to have you here. Alicia says hi. Linda's watching today. Great to have you with us, Linda. Okay, so one of the things, ladies, that we can do is to create a dialogue with Yoni. Oh, how do we do that? Yoni is sentient. She has a mind of her own, and she has messages for you. Linda's saying hi. So how do we listen to those messages? Yoni steaming is a great way to listen to those messages. We yoni steam every month on the full moon, and you are welcome to join us. I have a free yoni steam workshop and a yoni steam how-to booklet that I'm so happy to share with you. If you just reach out, I will make sure that you get both of those things. Another way to do that is just to place your hands over your vulva, that exterior part of your yoni, and just ask her, what do you want me to know about my sexuality? Hello there, Colin. It's nice to have you. So yoni steaming kind of puts us in this frame of mind where we can listen a little bit better, but you don't need to steam. You can just quiet yourself and just ask her, what do I need to know about my sexuality? And then trust that whatever you hear is right for you, and do journal it and write it down so that you can explore it. Which brings me to erotic journaling. It's fun to write about your first sexual experiences, or to write about what you desire, what you'd love to explore. Hello there, Tom. I'm so glad you are here. What did you learn about your first sexual experiences? What was forbidden? What still lives there? Nora says, I have to go, Leah, but I'll finish watching later. Love you, Leah, and I adore the Yoni steam. Yes, Nora, we'll catch up with you later. I'm glad you were here. Sacred witnessing is so powerful. So you can find a group of women that you can talk honestly about these women's sexual issues with. So whether it's a women's group or you're welcome to join my Yoni Steaming Women's Group. This is a group just for women to talk about our experiences with Yoni Steaming. Or maybe you already have a women's group and you can just invite them to take things up a notch, which would be really good. You can start some sensual practices. I already talked about the yoni steaming. There's yoni egg work. There's breast massage. There's this slow solo touch, the pleasuring ritual that's offered by Margot Anand in her book, The Joy of Sexuality. It's another really good way to do it. And then finally, you can come to my intimacy series. This is a series of monthly workshops starting on July 25th. They're in Boulder, so you can make a weekend of it if you don't live in Boulder. And I'll put a link at the end of this video so that you can come and explore these workshops. You don't have to bring a partner. You can come on your own. And Sexual Myths is our very first workshop. So we're going to go deep in exploring what you believe around your sexuality that's not serving you anymore, and how to step into a more full, more satisfying, more nourishing sexuality relationship with your sexuality. All right, darlings, that's all I have for you this week. Please remember that your libido is not a nuisance. It's not a burden. It's not something to mourn. It is your aliveness. Hello there, Rose. It is your aliveness that is dressed in red silk and candlelight. It can whisper to you, it can roar to you, but it's always sacred and it belongs to you. And I invite you to continue to explore it in all of its fullness. All right, I'll talk to you next week. Much love to you all. Bye-bye.